Hi everyone. I'm Tushar. I am a recent graduate from IIM Lucknow. I'm doing a marketing session today here, and we will be covering specifically about marketing. In the earlier sessions, you might have watched, I have covered introduction, marketing frameworks, communication, pricing strategy. Those sessions were the building block for this session. Today we'll be specifically talking about branding. This helps you to know more about what does brand entails and what answers you have to give in a brand manager role. So these were the few outlines of this session. So I hope you all have started reading about marketing concepts from ET Equity. Honestly, marketing is something that I would say that you will learn a concept and the concept will be in 5 lines, but the practicality you will able to learn about it by reading 50 pages. So 5 lines versus 50 pages. So if I'm taking a session here for like 30, 35, 40 odd minutes, you have to spend at least 2, 3 hours to read about marketing. Marketing is very practical in nature, and honestly you can read a lot about the stories, a lot about different things in marketing. So let's get started, and if you have any of the doubts you can reach out to me on the given details of LinkedIn, WhatsApp, etc. So yeah, let's get started. And what are we discussing? Branding. So it's very interesting, and let's get started with it. Okay, so session number 5, branding. So let's not think what is written on the slide. Let's talk intuitively. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about a brand? Let's say Nike. We all can remember or think about it. Just do it. Or athleticism is something that is very relevant. Wherever I see a tick, I know that it's Nike. So exactly is what is a brand. Over the time, a brand which is name, term, sign, symbol, design, or a combination of any of them intends us to identify the goods or the services of one seller or group of sellers, which differentiates them from the competitors. So brand is a story. Brand is storytelling, emotion, and a lot more. So don't think it just as a symbol. I'll talk about this very good brand that I often use, Forest Essential. They have a story. I'm not buying a product, I'm buying a story. For example, Mama's Earth. You might have like read or heard about the founders. Why they co-founded that product? Because they got a baby and then they wanted to buy products. However, they didn't able to find any of the relevant yet the healthy product in India. So they used to bring it from abroad, or they asked their folks to get it from abroad. So that was a problem statement that they took and solved it. So whenever you just read about Mama Earth, they have resembled that it's for the mothers, by the mothers, from the earth. Okay, just rearrange those things. This is something that I can relate. I'm not sure their core philosophy or vision. Further going deeper into the slide, so while the brand represents a very unique identity or value proposition of a product, service, or a company, it's also a strategic process of creating and managing a brand to differentiate them from customers, build trust, establish relationship, and create a competitive advantage. What do you mean by this? So when I say Nike, I know what I am fighting for. What are my battles? What is about my product? There is very good D2C brand, Helium. I know that they talk about bamboo socks, Damage, a very good inner brand product. The Better Home, you name it, I'll tell you a brand. Everyone have a story. For example, I was reading this book, Breaking the Mold by Raghuram Rajan. What do you think? I'm buying because it's a brand from Raghuram Rajan. It's a book from Raghuram Rajan. So it's a amalgamation of a brand and a book. So whenever you buy a product, just think it why you are buying. Sometimes definitely you will go in a shop and say that, hey, just give me the cheapest one. But most of the time, as a consumer, as a pre-MBA, you will go that, hey, I want to buy iPhone. You have a very specific need of buying an iPhone, and you know the story of the brand. So that is what is branding is in the basic terms. Now we'll be deep diving further into the components of branding. First is brand identity. So what do you mean by brand identity? Essentially, it's the logo or the visuals that the brand promote, be it taglines, design, colors. So for example, my prep. So you'll know that they have a logo, Shivam Ranka, Prashant, being the forefront of them. They have a purple logo. Whenever it comes to having a conversion of 99 plus percentage, you'll just think of them. You'll think of my prep zone. So like every brand have a different identity. However, these days, pers- personalities also have a very different brand, like unique brand. For example, Ashneer Grover, you will tag him as a specific person. You will tag him with a specific nature. So now talking about the example that I have already mentioned and might have also discussed in the last slide. What do you think by Nike? Just do it. I didn't read it anywhere. I didn't read it that about the logo. I just said it, and I know it that there is a tagline. Just do it. So it's represent the brand identity, athleticism, performance, and empowerment. Think of other brands: Muscle Blaze, Pure, Eno, for example, Tata, for example, Geo. These are all the different identities, and you are not just buying a product, you are buying a story, you are buying a brand. These days, we are discussing a lot about D2C, or anyone is buying D2C for a product. Most of them are buying to a brand. Most of them are not just building a product, but building a brand. You might have watched in Shark Tank. If not, you should. And Aman Gupta usually say that we have created a brand, not just a product. Brand image. Brand image refers to the overall perception and the reputation of the brand. So, for example, I don't want to name any of the brand. There are two brands, for example, X versus Y. So, X, you know that, hey, it's associated with being a cheap product, but it's value for money. Y being a product which is fancier, involved a lot of premium, but it's a very good quality product. So, this is how it is differentiating between X versus Y. So, you need to be very uh, thoughtful about it, that when you are differentiating versus brand one and brand two, what are the parameters? Brand associations, customer experience, advertisement, public relation efforts. Example is brand Apple's brand image is associated with innovation, elegance, very user friendly, sleek design, uh, campaigns, etc. They also had that issue of battery. Earlier, a lot of people associated themselves with that having a very uh, low battery life or less battery life. So these are the brand image. So what does brand image is? An overall perception of a and the reputation of the brand. What is brand equity? I already, I guess, mentioned about it. I read it, the equity of ET equity. So equity is something that you build over the time. It's an intangible value and strength of a brand, which contributes to the financial performance and competitive advantage. Just think it brand equity as a goodwill. For example, Tata. Tata need not have to come to you with a story. They have built a proper strategy, brand association, awareness, and perceived quality that if Tata comes up with a product, I will buy it because I know that they have built this equity over the time. Taj Hotels, for example. Sanjeev Kapoor is also associated with Tata. Like he's one of the best Indian chef in like 2010. I saw my parents reading his books. So now taking an example of Coca-Cola. Everyone knows it. It's a big MNC having a very loyal customer base and a premium pricing power to compare with other soft drinks. Like we have a lot of Indian brands, but they don't have the capability to charge a premium. Not today, but over the time they will also build a brand equity and then they can charge. For example, Real can charge, Tropicana can charge. But if the new brand of Aurora Lemon, which is very famous in Delhi, I'm not sure a lot of people know about it or not. There is this brand called Aurora Lemon. A lot of people used to drink it. I used to drink it when I was in Delhi. So they are like hardly 10-15 rupees. But if they want to charge them for 20 rupees, will you pay? You might not pay. So I'm talking about 2018. Today, if they charge, if they are going good, they might, but they have to definitely build a brand equity before charging that premium. Now comes to brand value. Most of the things are very interrelated, but having a very specific word to differentiate. For example, brand, image, equity, and value. So let's think overall perception is the keyword here. Intangible value is the keyword here. Monetary worth. What is the word that we were able to contribute to the financial performance or market position, and it also represents the potential economic of the brand brings to the company. Whatever I have realized in this year. So example is that Interbrand Annual Best Global Brand Report. Apple consistently rank highly in terms of brand value due to its strong financial performance, customer loyalty, and innovation. How do you get a customer loyalty? So the more you have the repeat rate, the better customer loyalty you will have. So if you have a very good brand value, then it should be reflected in a financial statement. That's why I usually say this to all the marketing folks. If you are running away from maths and then you are, and that is one of the reason why you are going to marketing, then stop. Marketing will also involve a lot of numbers, because these days marketing is basis the investment that you are making and getting a return out of it. It's not just that you will bring a campaign, hey, this is look good, but what is the contribution is it making to the business? Everything boils down to the number, EPS, GP, etc. So if you're running after maths, running from maths and going to marketing just because you don't like maths, please stop. Brand extension. So what happens is, I know Zomato might have acquired Blinkit, but in the case of Swiggy used their existing brand to did the brand existing of Instamart. Dine Out also they acquired, but over the time, customer will forget that they have acquired. They'll consider it as an extension of Swiggy. For example, Geo. So what happens? You extend the existing brand by leveraging the name to launch a new product or enter into a new market. So it helps you to capitalize whatever you have built over the time. For example, Tata if comes up with a new product, you don't need to think it twice because Tata has already performed a lot better in other fields, other industries, other products and services. So it helps us to capitalize the existing brand equity and customer loyalty. For example, Google is known for search engine and successfully able to extend their brands in services like Google Maps, Google Chrome, Google Pixel phones, Google Drive, the cloud services. So I use Google for most of the things except Google Pixel phone, like all these Google Maps. Today we are discussing it over a G Meet, recording it over G Meet. My PPTs are on, uh, I guess, not the Google ones, but yeah, never mind. So yeah, it's something that it gave me a feeling that everything that I'm using is from Google. It's a brand. So brand loyalty is represent the customer commitment and preference for a particular brand over others. For example, you will have 10 brands here. Now, as an individual, I'll only pick X brand because I know that I have heard about it. For example, Damench, Marks and Spencers. For example, I have 10 brands. I'll think of that. I'll buy a t-shirt. I'll always pick Marks and Spencer because I had a very positive brand experience. They were consistent quality and a very effective customer relationship management. For example, I faced an issue. I called them. They prepared a return and they also shared me the new product. So that is a relationship management. So now I'll give you one example of CRM. CRM is not just facing helping customers when they are facing issues, but CRM also involves you tracking your websites, you also coordinating how much sales are coming from ex customer. So customer relationship management is one of the marketing electives that you will observe in these schools. So in Lucknow, at least we had it. It was one of the best subjects that I could read after service marketing. So yeah, CRM can be a legit subject. So let's read about the example. Starbucks has curated a loyal customer base through its customer-centric approach, personalized reward system, and unique in-store experience. As as an individual who have worked a lot in my internship in a Starbucks cafe, so I know it. Like it's one of the best in-store experience in India. Second is if I talk about royalty points, they are able to generate a lot of their revenues due to the personalized reward system. So this is brand loyalty. Brand positioning is very important. How do you position yourself? Whether you are cheap product, whether you are value for money, whether you are a luxury product. I'll name all the brands. Forest Essential. The minute you will think about it in your mind, you'll think about, oh, it's a premium product, it's a luxury product. The minute you will think about Tata Nano, okay, you will have a different perception. The minute you will think about Geo, you will have a different perception. The minute you will think about Airtel, you have a different perception. So why do you have a different perception? Because that brand has positioned themselves in the mind of the customer versus what their competitors are. So it also involves an identifying a unique and a meaningful position in the market, which is based on very key attributes and benefits. For example, Volvo positioning as a brand known for safety and differentiates its other automobile brands that may focus on performance or luxury. A very classic example, you Benz Mercedes, then you have Jaguar, then you have Mahindra. You'll think of different things on different lines on different tangents. So this is brand position. Brand differentiation. 10 brands might be luxury, falls into a luxury category, but there will be one compelling thing or a unique thing or a USP about that brand that will keep them apart from other competitors. It can be product features, superior quality, customer service, distinct brand personality. Like for example, I use Instamart a lot. The minute I face any issue regarding any of my order, they just send me the replacement. So I know that their customer service is very good. For example, Dove differentiate itself by focusing the real beauty. They have this campaign that your skin will not get dry. And also at the same time, they are also promoting inclusivity, body positivity, and challenging the traditional beauty standards. So some campaigns are also sometimes not relevant to a product 100%, but they promote a story. Dove has very less to do with body positivity as a brand. Like there can be like my soap is the best. I'll nourish your skin. But body positivity is something that they're taking up. They are taking a very good initiative. So think as a brand manager, brand personality. How should I put it? Like these days, a lot of people write on LinkedIn, Instagram. So that likewise, brand also consider a brand also as a person or a human characteristic and trait associated with the brand. It helps to create emotional connection with the customer, influences their perception and preferences. So Just think that, okay, if Nike would have been a human, very hypothetically, but that is what a brand personality is. The brand personality of Coca-Cola is often described as fun, uplifting, and sociable. So, for example, Nike, if Nike would have been a person, he would be like Usain Bolt. Okay, Usain Bolt is also one of that brand uh, ambassador, but just thinking out loud that he will be running up, down, he will be thinking about fitness, etc. So this is the brand personality. Co-branding. Co-branding involves two, three brands creating a product together, leveraging each brand. So for example, sometimes what happens, I've not seen two brands making a same product sometimes, but I've seen Nike having a iPod, Nike's athletic footwear with iPod technology. But not seen a lot, but I've heard that this, if you buy a product, you will get a free product of different brand. For example, Airtel these days is doing ad with Apple. So it's just a co-branding thing, but not a very famous one. I guess I have already covered brand loyalty. So yeah. So these were the things that we discussed today. So if someone asks you what is brand, you know what is brand. But giving an answer like this won't help. You have to talk about brand identity, brand image, brand equity, brand value, brand extension, brand loyalty. Then talk about positioning. So these are the few ways how you will able to answer the branding. Just don't say that okay, it's a sign, symbol, or a combination of them. Explain them that there are different processes how you will build it, how you will able to design it. So this is all about branding today. Do read at least 5 brands and their story and why they call themselves as brand, and reach out to me with your paragraphs. Happy to read and review them. These are just concepts. You have to learn about different brands. I've talked at least about 10 brands on this call today. So just go and read them all. All the best till the time for the next session. Thank you.